Okay, so this is going to be my very late review of Constantine, Episode 3. Now, this episode pretty much starts out with a woman going out to find a vinyl record that has a lot of meaning behind it, and we don't know the reason just yet. But she ventures out, and to get authenticity, she has a friend of hers play the record, and it ends up making him kill himself. This, of course, gets the attention of John Constantine and his group, which also, by the way, we get a little bit of mention of the mill. We get a little more. History of the mill. Apparently, it's a lot bigger on the inside, and it has so many rooms in it, it could go on for days. So, literally, it's a magic TARDIS. It is a magic TARDIS. And there's also another Doctor Who reference, I guess you could say, later on. But yeah. So we continue on, and Constantine reveals that the person that was killed was an old friend of his, and he's convinced it wasn't a suicide. So he and Zed head out to further investigate. They head to the morgue, and it's revealed back in Constantine's life in the past, when he was younger, he was part of a punk rock band, and the guy was his producer that produced his only album. And he and Constantine remained friends, even though his band Mucous Membrane only did one album on the sole ground of wanting to get laid. They just wanted to get laid, and it was their only album. But he and the producer remained good friends. But anyway. So he manages to use this thing called the Hand of Glory to resurrect him for a short time to get a few words out of him, which then brings him to another even older music producer who was a guy who ran this thing called Moonrise Studios, and we get the whole story of an old blues singer who sold his soul to the devil in order to become get famous in blues. That guy was dragged to hell. And in return, the album was forever cursed by the voice of the devil. So, yeah, it's literally the voice of the fallen in there. And they then kind of point in the direction of a guy named Fell, who is a metal guitarist and an old rival of Constantine's band. So he's kind of convinced this guy stole the record for his own gain. He had cancer, and then miraculously he healed and became an overnight. Excuse me. Yeah, he was a shit guitar player, but he healed miraculously overnight. And John's convinced, yeah, he sold his soul, and John is ready to kick his ass when suddenly his wife Jasmine, the guitarist's wife Jasmine, comes in, and yeah, it's revealed that her husband Eddie had cancer, and so she sold her soul to what is known as a soul broker in exchange for his health to get better. And when apparently in the contract, when the words ran out, they would they would literally her soul would be taken. So John then sets out by himself to find the soul find the soul broker who took her soul by the name of Anton, and this leads us to one of the biggest characters in Constantine's universe, Papa Midnight. So let's talk a bit about Papa Midnight. Papa Midnight is of course, like in the comics, a voodoo priest, but he's also a crime lord. He's very professional too. He is more or less, again, he dabbles in very powerful magic, but he's also very handy in the criminal element as well. And he steals a lot of mystic artifacts, but he doesn't like Constantine. He has a big rivalry with him, but he's very professional about it. He's very much like, okay, we only kill when we need to. If Constantine gets in the way, I'll kill him, but I'll give him a chance to live. Professionally, and he manages to, capture Constantine, cut his arm, and pretty much say, look, I'm going to go get that record because it's a get-out-of-hell free card. And I like that little reference to I like that it was that in name was a nice little reference to, the get-out-of-hell free card from Secret Six. It's not exactly like that, but it's apparently Papa Midnight wants to use it to keep himself from going to hell. But anyway, Midnight then just leaves. He then just leaves him some medicine on the other side of the wall. Be like, okay, if you can cut yourself out, then I can, you can, break out of here, get the medicine to stop the bleeding after that cut I gave you, and you can go about your merry way. But you've got about 4 hours to do so. But it is so. Yep. Also, there's another thing I want to bring up, another little item that comes in handy twice in here in this episode. A playing card that John it's a charmed playing card that can allow anyone to see what John wants it to see. Doesn't that sound familiar to another one of the Doctor's weapon, something in the Doctor's arsenal? Psychic paper? Yeah, it's literally like the psychic paper. So in a way, this episode comes off like Magic Doctor Who. And in a way you think about it, it kind of is. It's like a magic version of Doctor Who. You've got the madman who, the snarky madman who is more of an enemy to himself and is a danger to everyone around him, really wants to help people, goes on these wacky adventures with a female companion. Yeah, I think Goyer wanted to write Doctor Who, but it was like, I'll just make Constantine magic. I'll just use Constantine and make it Magic Doctor Who. I think I broke the code. Anyway, so yes, Midnight's men manage to get the record and prepare to bring it to Midnight, but they listen to the record and it drives them, basically makes them into servants of the devil, and they want to keep playing it so people can start killing each other. The first time they play it is at a dance club, and it just becomes a giant fucking massacre, leaving only a busboy who's deaf to survive. Which apparently Zed can knows sign language, which I thought was pretty interesting. Like, okay, Zed knows sign language. They then, thanks to another vision from Zed, they managed to discover that Chicago, the record, sorry, tongue-tied. The next place the two guys are going to be going next are the local radio station to play it on the airways. So they head out there, and John, John pretty much tells Zed and his other friend, I'm suddenly forgetting his name, but he tells both Zed and the other one, just stay out here, I'll take care of it, and puts in a set of headphones and starts playing the Sex Pistols, which I thought was brilliant. Like, okay, you're gonna combat jazz with punk rock. Alright. And it's, I just love that moment when he's just like, okay, Johnny, play me something good. And he proceeds to play, Anarchy from Sex Pistols and charges in there, but his headphones get knocked out and starts succumbing to the music, and that's when Papa Midnight comes in with a enchanted Winchester, blows the other speakers out, and is about to take the record for himself when Constantine uses a magic spell to negate, pretty much use its own, the record's own demonic power against itself, and send it back with Papa Midnight's boys, his men, straight back to hell, leaving Midnight without the record, and beginning a vendetta against his personal vendetta against Constantine. We also have Constantine drag Anton back to order the contract void on Jasmine's life. So, but however, in doing that, this would make Edward's cancer come back. But he's like, no, look, that was 20 years ago. More stuff, with all the money we have, we can get all the expenses and all the new advancements in halting the cancer. So, and I've got a lot more to fight for. So it's very optimistic. So John makes the guy eat his own contract and saves Jasmine's soul. But however, his cancer, her husband's cancer returns, and in doing so, it's left a lot more optimistic. But we do see that Papa Midnight's begun his personal war on Constantine. So all in all, this was a really good episode. I really liked it. Papa Midnight was badass to see. It was cool, so cool to see Papa Midnight on the small screen. It was so cool. A lot better than his movie form. Yeah, in just 3 episodes, this is in one pilot, this completely in the pilot alone, it kicked the movie's ass. So anyway, I really liked it, and once again, I'm very sorry for the very late review. I've been very busy. So yeah, I hope I apologize. And I'll get a few more episode reviews out that I've been incredibly late on. So once again, hope you all enjoyed this review, and you guys tell me, what did you guys think of this episode, and I will see you guys later.